This is the CitizenLink Report.
If you find our insights helpful, would you support our video efforts? Your gift of $25 or more goes a long ways. Covers the crew, lights, cameras, all that. Just click on Donate. Thanks from all of us. It's the kind of place you take the kids to run through a corn maze or watch a pig race. But Liberty Ridge Farm just got fined $13,000 because the owners have Christian values. This is the CitizenLink Report. Hi, I'm Stuart Shepard. Imagine you own a farm and you decide to turn that farm into a family business. You invite people to bring their kids to pick blueberries or get a pumpkin, and the barn is a gathering place on the first floor for customers, but the upstairs is your house. Not surprisingly, you get some requests over time to have weddings on the property, and it's all going well until two women show up and ask to use your barn, which is also your home, for a wedding ceremony.
Robert and I made a conscious decision that we would not hold same-sex marriage ceremonies because of our religious convictions. In 2011, New York State enacted the Same-Sex Marriage Act. We felt that this new definition did not apply to us. This was our home, our farm. We're raising our two children here, and the law goes against our religious beliefs. But in September of 2012, I received a phone call from a woman who said she was interested in Liberty Ridge Farm as a possible wedding venue for her ceremony and reception. She had indicated that this was a same-sex relationship. I told her we did not host same-sex marriages, and she ended the phone conversation. A few weeks later, we received notice from New York State Division of Human Rights that the complaint of discrimination was lodged against us. Some people say, take the green, you're in business. Maybe some people don't understand about small business. A small business is created and nurtured and developed by the heart and soul of the owners. The one who takes all the risks, imprinting their religious and conscious beliefs into the everyday workings and long-term goals. A small business is a piece of the owner's life. It's also the American way.
As you probably know, CitizenLink is associated with more than 35 state-level family policy councils around the country. Jason McGuire heads up the one in New York. It's called New Yorkers for Constitutional Freedoms. I connected with him via Skype and asked him to describe the family at the heart of this story.
The Giffords really are a family that just trying to do business here in New York, they couldn't do it without adding in this agritourism business, and that led to having the weddings there. They're just trying to get by, and as a result of trying to survive here in this state, they're now facing major fines from coming New York State's Division of Human Rights, where they refused to allow this same-sex wedding ceremony. What most people don't realize about where these weddings are held on the Giffords property at Liberty Ridge Farm is that they actually use the bedrooms in the house as the changing rooms for the couples that are married there. So you're literally allowing, under this law now, allowing couples to come into their bedrooms and to use them as changing rooms, and that just violates their religious convictions.
Now, when this law was passed, it's a so-called non-discrimination ordinance, but here it is discriminating against Christians. We were promised that this would protect against exactly this kind of thing.
Exactly right. In fact, that was one of the points made when our state Senate was debating this issue, was that this would be the strongest religious freedom amendment in the nation. Well, if this is the strongest, we can see how it's not only failed in New York, but it's going to fail in every other state across the nation. Whenever we see that homosexual rights come up against religious freedom, there's a battle that cannot coexist, I'm afraid. And unfortunately, in the current cultural context, it seems that homosexual rights trump religious freedom issues.
People on the other side of this, I'm going to ask you a contrarian question. People on the other side of this are fond of saying, well, if you're going to run a business, then you need to be open to anyone who comes in the door to offer them business. How do you respond to that?
Well, that's the interesting point in this case. You know, Liberty Ridge Farm has actually held birthday parties for a child of lesbian parents. They have employed people in the past that have same-sex attraction. That has not been the issue here, but they drew the line in saying we should not be forced to participate in something that violates their religious convictions. They did not want to be participants in a same-sex ceremony. They did not want to open the rooms of their house to be used for that purpose. And that's where the line is drawn. But the issue really is the participation and really the endorsement of that activity. It's a whole different issue.
Give me your best argument for why religious freedom should be given special consideration above other rights that are claimed to now trump religious freedom. Why should religious freedom come first?
Well, I think constitutionally our founding fathers understood that when they did put in that First Amendment that we do have a right. There is religious liberty that is there. And it's ironic that a farm named Liberty Ridge is losing the religious liberties under New York state law. And if we don't have that first right of our religious freedom, what do we have? Religious freedom has to mean more than just within the four walls of our church. If it only means within the church building, we really have no religious freedom at all.
What's your encouragement to Christians who own businesses that are open to the public, where they deal with the public regularly?
Well, we're encouraging them to hold fast to their convictions. I know that these look like dark days in American history right now concerning religious liberty, but more and more we think that people are waking up to see the realities of what we're dealing with. And if we will just hold to our convictions, if we will stay the course and do what is right, I believe we're going to come through this on the other side. But it's going to take some tough battles in between time.
Now, before I let you go, we're proud to be associated with your organization. I want to give you a chance just to share about the work that you do there in New York.
Well, I will say at New Yorkers for Constitutional Freedoms, it's our lobbying arm that we really represent four key issues here in the state. First is we want to make sure that we are protecting human life. Second, we promote strong families. We preserve religious liberty, and we proclaim the biblical concepts of justice and mercy. And those four issues are what we seek to do as we really try to carry the banner for these values in what is a very difficult state, but through it all, God gives us victories.
Well, we're glad you're there, and we're happy to be working alongside you. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Stuart. We love our partnership and our friendship with you folks at CitizenLink.
If you live in New York, we encourage you to connect with Jason. Just go to albanyupdate.com. You can always let us know what you're thinking at mail@citizenlink.com. And we encourage you to pray for the Gifford family this week and pray for their family business. And also, remember to stand tall and be heard.